Good morning from just north of Roundup, Montana. I had a night to forget in a gloomy, expensive motel in the town of Roundup, but I very much needed the shower and AC. My mission of the day is to get to the national park that I had never heard of until yesterday, Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It was highly recommended by a stranger I happened to talk to in the Bighorn Mountains, and adding interesting things to see on the way home makes the long distances more enjoyable. Here is the sleepy town of Winnett, Montana. It is the seat of Petroleum County and has a whopping 188 residents. There was an oil boom in 1920 and 1946, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot goes on here now. To the south of the town is a beautiful view of some sandstone bluffs.
Yesterday in the Bighorns, a woman recommended Montana 200, and here we are.
I'm glad that I didn't have the route home pre-planned. It's pretty fun to make it up as I go along. Gone are the days of Montana's reasonable and prudent speed limits. Too many people went to court and successfully got out of tickets. But the spirit lives on, and 75 is apparently still too slow. I'd much rather force the pass than have someone following me closely.
I'm in Jordan, Montana. Check out this old mural.
I stopped here to find some breakfast. There was a nice cafe on the edge of town.
All these bug guts on my boots are from grasshoppers jumping at them while going down the road at 70 miles an hour. Keep feeling these little taps on my boots, and it's grasshoppers. It's gross. And there were a whole bunch of paleontology students or something in the cafe this morning, and the waitress let it be known that she had a big chunk of a triceratops horn and knew where the rest of it was buried.
Like a paleontology mob boss.
What a fun place.
I continued east along Montana 200, past some tree skeletons, through some badlands, and across the imaginatively named Big Dry Creek. It turned out the road was under construction, but instead of riding slowly in a long line of traffic, I got to ride some dirt and gravel. Perfect. These wind turbine blades are awfully big, aren't they? Eastern Montana feels very big and open, but certainly not monotonous. The scenery was always changing, and I definitely haven't grown tired of the Badlands-like terrain. I don't know if I would feel the same way if I were on a bicycle. Time to play Follow the Leader. Don't breathe this. I stopped at the Macomb County Museum in Circle, Montana, which had lots of neat things from the area. A suit made by the Grovant people, saddles and boots, a triceratops horn, the 1902 Sears and Roebuck catalog, a 1940s dress with local brands on it, the printing press and typewriters from the Old Town newspaper, and even some bad taxidermy.
Such an impressive little museum in this town in Montana.
There were several other buildings to go inside. I probably could have spent a few more hours, but I had to keep moving. I think I might be a bit of a casual train dork, but old wooden trestles are really cool to me. It seems I have found the land of arrow straight roads.
Remember those grasshoppers I was telling you about? Carnage. Absolute carnage. So gross. Just everywhere.
Here's the Yellowstone River just before it joins the Missouri. To the east of the river was more Badlands-like topography. And the end of Montana. There's gonna have to be a return trip in the not-so-distant future. Here's the second new state for me in as many days.
North Dakota.
I think that's a weather radar, but who knows what they're up to out here. Aside from baling hay and pumping oil, of course. Off in the distance is the Little Missouri River. Welcome to Theodore Roosevelt National Park, the North Unit to be specific. Seeing as Teddy Roosevelt came to North Dakota to hunt bison, this seems like a fitting welcome to the park. It reminds me a bit of Badlands, but with a lot more water and trees, and a lot fewer people. The road climbs up through the clay formations onto the top of the plateau overlooking the river valley. The road ends at Oxbow Overlook. I parked the bike in the little bit of shade I could find. Did I mention it was 97 degrees today? It was nearly 4, so I decided to camp in the park for the night. All of the trees here were very welcome. I got my camp set up and decided to go for a walk.
The gnats are pretty bad here tonight, but not many mosquitoes. I'm gonna go see if I can get a look at the river over here. Through all these cottonwood trees. It's starting to cool off a little bit, which is really nice. I found the riverbed, and it's full of bison prints. They must come down here to drink.
If only these grasshoppers knew what I'd done to their kind today.
Look at that guy. He's right there.
It was still too hot in the campsite, so I headed to the top of the bluff to get a look at the sunset and maybe a little breeze. And I found a pretty great spot for both. I went up the road a little farther, and to my delight, I found the herd of bison. And an oil well.
Check out these cannonballs.
It's a pretty cool phenomenon, isn't it? I rode 362 miles today from Roundup, Montana to Teddy Roosevelt's National Park in North Dakota.
Almost rode away. Go back, Justin, in the back. Let's go. Let's go to Minnesota.
Good morning from Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It's a pleasant 66 degrees and there's some cloud cover, so hopefully it isn't quite as hot today. This park was an unexpected surprise. I only heard of it 2 days ago, and my only real association with North Dakota had been Fargo. I hopped back into the mountain time zone and crossed the Little Missouri River. Looks like I might get a little bit of rain today. The perfect gas station name.
That is a dirty, dirty handle. Experience has taught me that it's better to suit up before it's pouring. Don't leave the backpack on the thing again. I am now a highlighter and cuff over the glove unless you have ape hangers. Alright, let's go.
Now, of course, if you do manage to put your rain gear on before it starts pouring, chances are that it won't rain hard enough to warrant it. Which certainly applied today. It seems I managed to thread the needle between the two storm fronts. I continued to enjoy my ride through North Dakota's Badlands. On the right are the remains of the original Four Bears Memorial Bridge that was originally built 70 miles downstream from here in the now underwater town of Elbow Woods. When the Missouri River was dammed in 1950, they moved the bridge here, where it would stand until 2007 when this new bridge was finished. On the far side of the river, you can see the medicine wheel on the hillside. Glad I'm not turning right anytime soon. I continued into North Dakota's famous Land of a Million Puddles. Seriously, look at all those ponds. It looks like a Dalmatian. I wonder how the mosquitoes are. This construction zone is helping me keep up my streak of dirt roads every day. Welcome to Minot, North Dakota. I definitely would have assumed it was pronounced Minot after some French trapper. I found a nice little diner for lunch and some inadvertent motorcycle-only parking. I obviously had to get the Simon burger, but what fresh hell is that peanut butter, bacon, and egg burger? Must be a Midwest thing. And don't get me started on peanut butter flavored beer.
North Dakota State Fair? Huh. Didn't expect that.
Now this is more what I would picture when I thought of North Dakota. Endless plains.
Look at what I found. The middle of North America. Huh.
Neat!
After being told that the Coffee Cottage Cafe could not produce an iced coffee, I took a peek at the Prairie Village but decided to continue on my way. I spotted some sort of pavement-eating dinosaur. I found some fuel at my favorite dinosaur-themed gas station, and some coffee since I was dragging a little bit. That's Devil's Lake on the right. I'm convinced that places would use devil in their name to make them sound mysterious and draw tourists in. Or maybe there's something to it, and that smoke on the horizon is pouring out of a portal to hell. Or maybe it's just a garbage fire. Just down the road is more smoke pouring out of the ground, so I'm not sure what to believe anymore. I think I'm leaning toward the portal. Time to do the rain gear dance again. But it's actually raining this time. I found a cool old sign in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And a bridge to escape into the state of Minnesota. I stopped at a rest area to take the rain gear off and found this awesome van. Its owner is a longtime motorcyclist, and he was happy to display the piggy sticker. This is Crookston, Minnesota, named obviously because there are a ton of crooks here. And you can tell that Route 2 across the state is not very inspiring because I only have video clips from the towns I passed through. See? Straight and flat. I found a campsite on Lake Bimidji and had a nice dip in the water to end the day. The site was nothing special, but it would do. I rode 510 miles today and put my rain gear on twice. If you're still here, thanks for coming along, and stay tuned as I go searching for Sasquatch in the UP.
They really got a Bigfoot thing around here, don't they?